Okay, well, one of the things that is a little tricky is the crank angle sensor. Basically, on this little wheel right here behind the harmonic balancer is a little plate. It's a wheel that has these little nubs. And what these nubs do is they pass in front of a sensor that picks up a signal that I guess picks up a magnetic signal, and that's what determines your crank position. Anyway, you have to maintain a very tight tolerance, and from what I've been reading, a good solution is to take a credit card and use that as basically like a feeler gauge, kind of a spacer, and make sure that everything stays the right distance. I mean, this one, I don't know if I need to move it back or not. It does feel a little tight. But what I did was, while I was installing this, I just held the credit card in place up against the wheel and then tightened down my 10mm bolt. Okay, well, I got the crank on. Now I'm working on the water pump pulley. I'm taking a tiny bit of thread lock and putting it on there on the threads. This is just the blue stuff. It's medium strength, because these water pump pulley bolts, they don't have very much torque applied to them at all. So I just want to make sure that they're not going to wiggle loose. What I'm doing now is getting the water pump on. And you just turn the pulley until you can get the bolt through the hole, and you just kind of wheel it around and pull it in here until it threads through. Alright, there you go. And then it's just two 14mm to tighten both ends up. I wouldn't tighten them down all the way just yet. Let's wait until we get the belt on, so that way you can pivot and you can get the correct tension. Now it's time for the belts. I loosened up the bolt down here and this one over here. Now basically the sequence goes: you use this tensioner bolt right here to get your right amount of tension, which is supposed to be about 22 pounds, and I need to look up the amount of deflection this is supposed to have. And then once you get that tension right, you lock it down here, and then finally with the third bolt down here. Next piece we're going to go put in is the radiator. All I have to do is line up these little dowels that are on the bottom of the radiator into the holes of the bracket. And after that, you just put on the upper brackets. Yeah. Then there's two electrical connectors for the fans. And after that, it'll be a matter of, oh yeah, this hose. It's for the reservoir tank. The final piece will be the upper radiator hose. And I already made sure that the little plug for the drain was tightened down. Okay, and that should be it as far as radiators. Oh wait, there's one more little bracket. And, it's going to be kind of hard to see. It's right around here from what I remember, and it bolts into the bottom of the radiator. After that, yeah, of course, you just put in the air box. Make sure the wiring's out of the way. Anyway, you get the idea. And then just snap in your electrical connections. And then from here, just put in the crossover tube. You know, make sure you got all the other connections done. And after that, well, I was gonna do something special with the valve cover. Once you put the valve cover in, go with the ignition coils, put your plugs and wires back on, and then we'll begin, burping the radiator. Well, my camera screwed up, and for some reason it didn't record the final parts of the installation. So here we are. Basically, it's pretty simple. When you put the valve cover on, there's a couple of spots where you're supposed to put silicone sealant. Basically, there's at the corners, right here, 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 and again over on these ends over here. The rest of it you don't need to seal. The gasket will do it itself. As far as proper tightening procedure, basically you start from this bolt right here and work your way outwards in a counterclockwise spiral. No, yeah, this is what I did with the valve cover. So using a series of sandpapers, starting with I believe 80 grit or 60 grit. I made a whole different video about how to do it, and I think the results are just wow. Yeah. So anyway, this is what it looks like all together, and then that's pretty much your second generation Miata timing belt change in a nutshell. The next thing I'm going to be working on will be eventually getting to the rear main seal, which will involve removing the transmission, and then finally move on to finishing the body work and getting it ready for paint. So stay tuned.